おはよう。
Oh. Hello, hello. Hi, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Oh my goodness, we're here now. Sergio, how you doing today? It's so good to see you. Oh, we're doing some artwork today. I got my drawing tablet here. Got Fiesta looking all nice and artsy. So we're real excited today. I got a fun stream planned for today. Also, for the most part, I feel way better since last time. I decided that I was going to go ahead and remove my little head pack and the little thermometer from my mouth, so that way I can go back to being normal again. I still have a little congestion left, mostly in the chest, but I feel fine for the most part. I was able to get up and didn't even really bother too much. I took a little bit of cough medicine and been fine ever since. So I think we're doing just fine today. Good enough to get some artwork done and start getting some stuff going. We specifically today, what we're gonna be doing is working on some character designs for a manga or webcomic, I guess you can say. I can go back to being normal again. I'm sorry. When have you ever been normal? You know, you make a good point. You make a good point. I don't know if I've ever been normal. No offense, okay? I'm gonna take offense to that. Yeah, no. I feel a whole lot better. So I might still cough here and there, but it's not the end of the world. Honestly, I've had allergies worse than how I'm feeling right now, so it's not that. Oh, Danny, how you doing? Welcome! Drawing time! Yeah! We're gonna be drawing some stuff. There was a while back, probably a couple of weeks ago, I want to say, Shreddy and I did a Children with Back Pain stream, where we talked a bit about a story that we're going to be working on together. We did a lot of role-playing games, right, during our time, and one of our favorites was a story that was... I'll talk more about it as we draw, but basically what it was is we took, like, giant monsters, mostly, like, Godzilla stuff, right? And we kind of crunched them down to, like, humanoid forms, where they're kind of a mix of human and the monster that they're based on. So we and this isn't really an original idea. We you give me your OC's trauma lore now. Oh, okay. Trust me, I'll get to a lot of that. And we loved the game so much that we're like, you know what? We want to turn this into an actual story. Anthony, how you doing? Hi, welcome. It's so good to see you today. How you been? And so the story is called Dai Kaiju, right? Just simply Dai Kaiju. And it's something that we found a long time ago. I had this huge segment on Children with Back Pain about it. And so I've talked extensively about it, and I'm going to talk a bit more about it, more of the same today, just so that way we can all get caught up together. Has anyone seen the trailers for Pokemon Day today? No. Dai Kaiju? Minus the Y at the very end there. But yes, exactly spelled just like that. And so the idea is pretty cool. I thought it was neat. Because it was a role-playing game among all of us, we all had our own characters, right? Shreddy had a character who was based off King Kong, specifically like the legendary King Kong, the Monsterverse Kong. My brother had a character based off Godzilla Final Wars, you know, the Final Wars Godzilla. I had an Ultraman character. It was pretty cool. Dai means big in Japan. Kaiju means monster, like Godzilla. Exactly. The distinction we use for this story is that they're meant to be kind of like humanoid forms, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, kaiju I believe can mean any kind of monster, truth be told. So long as it's like above average size or something like that, right? I think so. Daikaiju, I guess, is more specifically giant monster, but you know. One of the games they showed off in Pokemon Day was Pokemon Legends ZA. Oh, wow. Moist, how you doing? Welcome. Good to see you today. We're gonna be doing some art. So I'm gonna give a little preface though, a little warning about the first picture we're gonna be doing. For this comic that I'm doing with Shreddy, I'm actually gonna be doing it all on paper. How you feeling? Actually, I'm feeling a whole lot better now. I figured I'd go ahead and remove the little ice pack from my head and the little thermometer from my mouth because I'm actually feeling a whole lot better. I'm not 100%, but on a scale of 1 to 100, I'd probably say I'm like 85%. I'm feeling way better. So, and they showed us the 3 starters that they're gonna have. They're gonna have Charita Toda and the pig from Pokemon Black and White. I don't know what pig that is. I think I've mentioned it before. I'll say it again. My Pokemon knowledge goes from Generation 1, and that's about it. It's actually an idea that that Ava and I had a little while ago, that we should take a Pokemon and just like put them in front of me, and then I have to guess what the name is. Just because I have no idea what Pokemon are nowadays. So I was like, oh, there's like 1,000 Pokemon. I only know 100 of them. Oh, have you watched the Super Smash Bros. Infection? No. What is that? Oh, Tipig. Is that what it's called? Tipig? He's a little guy that evolves to a big pig. That sounds awesome. I want a pig Pokemon. Dude, I just want a pig. I would love to have a pig. My neighbor, where I live right now, my neighbor has a pet pig, and his name is George. And I'm like, that is amazing. I like to go over there and feed him every now and again. It's just the coolest little thing. I would love a pig. I'd probably name him, like, Steven, maybe? I don't know. I need to come up with a good pig name. I want to get a bearded dragon and name it Wilford. And I want to get a Shiba Inu one of these days, and I'm going to name it Potato. But, yeah, no, so, this manga, this webcomic, I'm drawing all on paper, right? I actually draw way better when it's just traditional format. Whenever I draw digital, like what I'm about to do today, I actually don't do very well. I'm glad half the pictures come out as good as they are, because I'm not good at it. And the picture I'm going to draw today, I'm actually just going to be like kind of doing some line art on it, and then we'll be coloring it and trying to make it look as nice as possible, cleaning up the picture a bit. Then I'll be drawing one of the main characters of Daikaiju, which is a character named Tobias. Uh-oh, my OBS disconnected. Give it just 1 second. The OBS disconnected for half a second there. Yeah, got some lag. Freaking lag coming in here. That sucks. Hopefully everything's okay now. You guys can see everything all right. It's not too laggy. Hopefully it won't be a problem. We actually had to end stream yesterday early because of the lag. So hopefully it's not going to be a problem today. But yeah, we're going to be drawing this picture. Just doing the line art and coloring a bit. We'll be drawing the picture of the main character, one of the main characters of the story, Tobias. And I figured I'll let you guys look a small sneak peek at the beginning of Chapter 1. And we'll be doing some rough drafts for Chapter 1 today. We got a lot to do. So, let's go ahead and get right into it, huh? Cool. Okay. I've shown this picture off a couple of times. But we're going to be doing the line art for this today. This is a picture that I drew in person, on paper. As you can see, you know, I just took a picture of it with my phone and it's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do the line art on it and color it and make it all nice and pretty today. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing. So let me go ahead and I'm going to rename this layer real fast to line art. And the way I do line art, if you're unfamiliar, I use these. I'll probably thicken it out a little bit. Yeah. Thick it out. That's good. Because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to art. And if I keep screwing up my art, I just get upset and I'm like, this sucks. So when it comes to this, I'm just like, we're going to use precise lines. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to start off with her head. This character here, her name is Gabby. And if you know anything about Godzilla monsters, she is the Daikaiju version of a Godzilla monster known as Gabara. I like her, right? She's kind of silly. Let's talk a little bit about Gabara real fast, though. The monster that she's based on, because her personality kind of references Gabara a bit. Gabara is a bully in every sense of the word. He is a monster that I think he's got some electric powers in his claws, so you can go like, you know, whatever. And he picks on Manila, which way back in Godzilla's heyday was Godzilla's son. I grew up with the Heisei era of Godzilla, so Manila was always like one of my least favorites when it came to kaiju. Let's do it like this. Yeah, perfect. I feel like Loki matches my personality as well. Smart, tricky, versatile, and it's perfect for my sadistic side too. I was about to say, I'm like, you mean the god of trickery is the guy that you relate to the most? Oh, country, how you doing? Godzilla Jr. whoops Manila hands down. Yeah, Godzilla Jr. whoops Manila. I agree with that. I love Godzilla Jr. Like, I grew up with the Heisei era. Everything from Heisei to Millennium to where are we in now? I don't remember what era we're in. It's a new one. That I love the modern Godzilla movies. Kind of going from like back in time a bit to the old Godzilla movies. I'm not the biggest fan of. So the movie that Gabara appears in, I'm not even that big of a fan of it. In fact, I think that's one of my least favorites, because I think that was the one where Manila actually talks, and the English dub for Manila is like insufferable. I can't stand Manila's voice in the English dub. Imagine spending hours playing a character, then a random Loki copies you with his ult and kills you with your own character, despite having less than an hour of practice with it. It's humiliating. And it's true. Nothing gets me more when I'm playing Jeff and then suddenly Loki transforms and turns to Jeff, swallows me, and jumps off the map. I'm like, hey, that's mine. That's my move. You can't do that. Let's do it like this. I'm tired. Had a long day yesterday. Went to doctor consultation. only to reschedule it. Oh, that sucks. Then survived a wreck after eating at a restaurant. Oh my gosh. That's rough. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully things will be a little better for you. Yeah. So, because there's only enough room for one psycho shark in the game. Ethan Scar, probably. I love playing Jeff. Being Jeff is like such a roleplay experience. If anyone plays Jeff and doesn't try to act like a cute little shark, they're playing Jeff wrong. Like, I freaking love playing as Jeff. And so... oh, man. But, Gabby herself, right? Because she's based off Gabra, she's kind of got that, you know, bully mentality. Specifically, you know, if you recall, I don't know if anyone's seen the movie, right? What's it called? It's not Godzilla Returns. It's the one where Manila shows up and Gabra's there. Gabra sucks butt. Like, that guy is pathetic. He's like one of the worst kaiju ever because all he does is pick on Manila, and the moment Godzilla shows up, just absolutely trounces Gabra. Like, makes Gabra look like an absolute nerd. And Gabra like runs away, and it's just like, huh. And the message of the whole movie is like, bullies never win, or whatever. And so, Gabby is very much the same. Her thing is that she is, she picks on children, right? She picks on anyone who's smaller than her. She is roughly, I think, around like 5'2", you know, maybe 5 foot even. She's short. And so she only picks on kids, really. She thinks she's high and mighty. You know, she's like children's, you know, they're stupid. I'm so good. But she can't fight very well. She does have some claws, which I think I drew. Yeah, she's got some claws here. She's also got a little bit of electricity powers, which is kind of makes up for the fact that she's not physically that strong. So, but the problem is that she's weak, right? So she doesn't really get into any fights with anyone outside of children, for the most part. Let's go ahead and do the ear. And, she does have dreams and goals of her own. She's not really a bad person, per se. She just kind of hangs out with the wrong crowd. That's kind of Gabby's whole situation. Her goal is that she wants to be, like, the leader of her own gang. You know, she wants to be revered. She wants to be respected. And she never really is. So she hangs out with someone who is kind of feared a bit. In the story, there's a character named Giganna. If you know anything about Godzilla, you know who this is based off. She is based off of the monster Gigan. He's kind of like the Cyclops chicken guy with like a buzzsaw, you know, stomach, and he's got hook hands. And in Godzilla Final Wars, he actually gets chainsaw hands. It's really sick. Gigan's super cool too. I freaking love Gigan. So she hangs out with Giganna, and in hopes that, you know, see, I hang out with a cool crowd, and Giganna is cool, right? She's the definition of cool. She walks around with like red sunglasses. You know, she's got like a mohawk. She's got She walks around smoking a cigarette. You know, it's just cool. And so Gabby's just like, yeah, I hang out with a cool crowd, so you know I'm cool. Guy means foreign in Japanese. Oh, that kind of works out. What does Gan mean? Gan. Weeb, great news! Novelization of Godzilla -1 translated into English is going to be released in the USA. Ooh. Any new details in that we should know about? That might give us a peek into what is to come in the sequel? Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Well, Gigan is like an alien, so to say that it's foreign, it kind of works out. Let's decrease the size of this. Just kind of like that. The yeah, no, but Gabby in the story of Daikaiji that we're doing doesn't have like the biggest role. For the most part, she is like the first, I guess you could say, antagonist of the story. I used her during the session when I first used her back in when it was just a role-playing game. Her involvement was, one of the player characters in the story was a mutant. Mutants are a thing in Daikaiju because of Godzilla Final Wars, right? If you recall, mutants are like the offspring of humans and Exilians, I believe, right? I think that's what it was. And so mutants have kind of evolved a little bit in the story to kind of become a little more akin to My Hero Academia's like quirks, where they all have the same, standard stuff. They're physically strong, they're fast, but they have one unique trait about them that makes them stand out. This guy, the player character, had the ability to summon crystals around his body. And the crystals mostly protect him from energy. So Gabby's, big, huge thing is that she's got claws and electricity. Because of the crystals, that kind of makes it, not very important. And Gabby's just kind of too weak to really hurt the crystals. The reason why this is important is because Gabby gets embarrassed by this guy unintentionally. He finds her diary, which she was using as a sort of like, a fantasy, getaway book. She took it and was like writing as if she was the leader of like the biggest gang on the island that they live on. She's this big, huge crime boss. Everything is because of her. This person stole this thing over here because she told them to. They're afraid of her. And so it's written out as if it was real. And I don't think he read it. I'm not sure if he did. But I think he did take a small peek into it and saw this, and it's just like, he's a little cautious, and he's just like, here's your book back. I found it, and you just kind of left it around, and she was kind of freaking out. I was like, oh shoot, you just read my book, And of course she asked him, like, what did you think? Is this something that would, basically almost asking like, do you think my dream's stupid? Do you think I have what it takes to be a crime boss? And of course, he didn't really have the greatest things to say to her, and it just kind of embarrassed her. So she decides that, you know what, he knows too much about me personally, and that's a problem. So she decides that, you know, we're gonna fight. I'm gonna show you that you can't just, you know, laugh at me. You can't think lowly of me. And he's just like, honestly, I don't even care. But she's like, no, you will care. You know. It's she's petty. And so they had this fight, and it ends exactly the way you think it would. She's not much of a fighter, and losing the fight, you know. She doesn't really show up again for the most part after that. She kind of does, but it's like small cameos here and there. Where's my dang cursor? There it is. I lost it for a second. She's got these horns as well, so we gotta make these. It's got this little mohawk of horns coming up here. Just like that. Perfect. Just kind of goes like this. So she's kind of silly. She's goofy, real goofy. But I like her. She does kind of show up every now and again, and she kind of has a little bit more respect for the mutant that she fought. But doesn't really get too involved. I don't like how that looks there. We're gonna do it like more like this. And so that's probably the extent of Gabby. And I drew this picture a long time ago. But it's been one of my favorite pictures that I've drawn of that kaiju, so I want to use it for something I can show off as we work on the manga, or the webcomic. I call it manga because it's going to be the closest thing I'm ever going to do to a manga. But it is, by definition, a webcomic. Cruel Angel's Thesis playing right now. Evangelion actually plays a small little part in this lore as well. It's gonna be pretty cool. You don't see it for a very, very long time, but when we play this game together, right? It's still an ongoing game too. It's on hold at the moment because we want to do a D&D game, so we're not gonna get to it for a while. But when we do, we actually treat it like it's an anime. We're like, all right, we're in here now. It's a new season, and by that I mean it's we finished up one arc and now we're going on to the next arc. We finished up a season. Oh, Talia, how you doing? Welcome. Hello, brats. How you doing? It's good to see you today. Freaking, yeah, we treat it like seasons, right? And then we'll have like actual intro music, from other animes play while we do a recap of what happened last session. So, oh, how you doing? Well, the drawing looks sick so far. Yeah, thank you. I've done it on paper, so all I'm doing now is doing the line art, and we're gonna color it, make it look nice and detailed. This is what we got. The character is from a story that I'm working on with Shreddy. Her name is Gabby, or Gabriella for short, or not short. That's her full name. I'm in an art block, so I'm supporting you here. Oh, thank you for that. I may have stolen all your artistic ability because I have been on an art kick recently. I have been drawing like crazy with this story. I came up with a couple of designs for some characters that are going to be showing up later. We're going to be drawing one of them after we do this picture here. Let's shrink it down. Let's just kind of do it like that. Do you use mouse or drawing tablet with the computer? A little bit of both. I draw with a drawing tablet, right? I've got my little pen. I got my tablet here. But when it comes to line art, right? I am such a perfectionist that I can't afford mistakes. I want it to be perfect. So I use the line tool, and I have the curve set right now, so that way I can get it as precise as possible to make it look nice and neat. And we'll go over it with an eraser and get rid of things like you see here. All these lines are kind of huddled up together. That's there in a couple of places, and you know, we'll make it look a little nicer. But I'm using mouse for this one. But yeah, no, I've been on this kick. I've drawn these characters, and I'm super into it right now, and I'm having a great time. It's actually been a while since I drew on paper, so drawing it again recently, it felt great. So I'm gonna kind of do this. Then we'll just do this number here. It goes back here. And then she has her neck. Just kind of like that. She's got her shoulder. There we go. Try to make it look as nice and neat as possible. And so if we got rid of the art, that's what we're looking at right now. It's coming out good so far. Yeah, the story of Daikaiju kind of follows 5 characters, but there is kind of a POV character that we follow for the beginning portion. Yodi, how you doing? Welcome. How you feeling? I'm feeling actually way better. I kind of said it earlier. I'm not 100%, right? I still got a little congestion in like my chest, but I feel way better. Like if I had to give a scale of 1 to 100, I'd probably say I'm like 85% right now. So way better than I should. I have been all week. So I made my model. I got my model rid of the little ice pack and thermometer. So I might still cough here and there, but for the most part, I feel much better. We'll be good enough to be doing some streams. And can I do this number here? There we go. Gabby looking nice and pretty. Good to hear you better. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I had to take it easy for a while, but it's all good now, for the most part. Drawing's fire. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a while since I've drawn on paper, and I'm much better drawing on paper. It's like traditional artwork than I am digital. So I was saying at the very beginning, I'm happy that the drawings that I do on the channel come out even half as good as they are, because I honestly don't think I'm good digital artwork. But I really like drawing, so I want to do it on the channel for sure. If I had a hand cam, I thought about doing that, but even then I'm just like, I get really into it. Yeah, the like I will like be like 2 inches away from like the paper. I'm like I'm focusing real hard on it. So, and even now from this computer screen, I'm like crouched over. I'm like, am I doing it right? Let me see. It looks good, I guess. Let's do this. I am such a perfectionist. I gotta make sure everything is perfect. It's good enough. We'll fix it a little later. Oops. How does that look? That don't look too bad, huh? Oh. Will you finish today? I don't know. I would like to, but art takes a lot of time. Like, my hope is that we can get the colors in, make sure everything looks nice and neat. But there's a couple other pictures I want to draw today too. For one of the main characters of the Daikaiju story that I'm working on with Shredneck is a character named Tobias. And he is a Daikaiju guy inspired by the Final Wars design of Godzilla. I drew him a couple days ago for the first time in like a year. And I made his design look nice and beautiful, and he looks like a strong, confident character while also having a small, like, softer side to him in a way. But at the same time, he is a tough guy. And I love his design so much that I want to draw him a little bit today too, just like a profile shot. Kind of like, you know, what we're looking at with Gabby right here. I kind of want to do with Tobias. And I think you guys might like him. He's a cool guy. And but on top of that, I also want to give you guys a small little peek, because it's a webcomic that I'm working on with Shredneck. We all have our different we both have different areas that we're working on. I am the artist and kind of the, you know, I don't want to say director. There's not really a director in comics, but I have an idea for where the story should go, and so I kind of pivot the story. I'm like, this is where the story should be going. I send that to Shredneck, and Shreddy creates a script, dialogue, and character interactions based off what I sent him. And then he sends that back to me, and I take that and work on the actual comic. And I draw it. And so he sent me the first few parts of it. And I wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit of it today. It's like a dream sequence at the very beginning of the story. And so I kind of want to do some rough drafts of what that is going to look like. You guys can kind of see the comic creating process in that regard. I thought that would be a fun thing to do. But we're starting off with Gabby first. It's a lot, but I want to go on for like 5 hours today, so I'm mostly, if anything, I'm using the stream as like an excuse to get some comic book work done. And I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. It's just, it's just a little silly stuff. Let's make the eye a little thick. Like so. Not at all. Yeah, yeah. We'll actually get the pen for this one. Get this little eye shine here. And draw the pupil right here. May need to center that a little better, but... So you're going till 9 p.m.? Probably. We'll probably be taking a break here in about an hour or so, because I do have to... I still have a few responsibilities around the house. One thing I don't like about streaming at this time is that I have a lot of responsibilities I still have to maintain. But I love streaming at this time because I think it works best for everybody. So... Let me see. I'm going to try to reposition this. Kind of like this. Let's go ahead and fill this out real quick. Just kind of make it look nice. There we go. Good enough for me. I get off work at 8 p.m., but I'll try to pop back in before then. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, if you can pop in, that'd be awesome. We'll see how far along we are at that point. See just how far we've come. Hoi hoi. Let's get Gabby's other eye here real quick. Most of Gabby's character here is kind of fake. She isn't like scary, even though she kind of comes off as like a you know, looking down at you sort of thing. Honestly, we'll clean it up here in a bit. But I like her though. I really wish I used her more often in the role-playing game. It's hard though, because like when you have a story that you want to tell, you're the full creator of that story. You can tell your story however you want. If you want your character to meet up with this person at some sort of restaurant or whatever, you can do that. But you could have the character have some sort of meaningful dialogue and interaction with each other. But when it comes to like role-playing games, you don't get that control. You know, when you have a character that shows up at your player character wants to go to a restaurant to order some food or whatever, and you toss in a character at that moment to be like, hey, do you remember this person? You fought them one time, and now here they are, and they're staring at you. You don't have a control over how that interaction goes. You can be like, oh, you know, maybe they'll stare at each other. Maybe they'll say some meaningful words. Maybe they'll even come to an agreement of some sort. But then what the player character does is like, I ignore them. It's like, okay. Well, they're not going to talk to you, so if you're not going to talk to them, then there's no dialogue to be had here, and that whole thing just kind of goes away. That character may never show back up again, because why would they? The only reason that you would have them show up is because you, as the storyteller, want them to show back up. But if your player characters don't have any interaction with them, there's only so much you can do. So that's kind of the fate of Gabby here. She shows up a couple of times after the first major battle with her, but no one cares, really. So Gabby's involvement becomes very small, menial, and doesn't really have any big plot relevance outside of the one that she just had on the players. So it might be able to work on that a little more this time around, though. Because we're turning it into a story, Shreddy has even said to me during a little meeting that we had together, talking about certain things that need to change for the comic. And he had told me about things that should change, and I actually agree with most of them. So Gabby's involvement might be included in that as well. Let's see if we can't clean. Still too big. There we go. Looks good. Just kind of darken it up a little right there. We'll color this in. Perfect. Let's go ahead and give her little eye markings that she's got. It's kind of like Fiesta here. She's got these little eye marks. That looks a little cooler. Makes her look a little more intimidating. I don't even know if Gabra has that. Does anyone know what Gabra even looks like? Let me see if I can find a picture. I'll show you how goofy Gabra looks. So, let's see. This is Godzilla. This is a Gabara. He's so goofy looking. Like, this is straight up what he looks like from the movie. And keep in mind, it was a long time ago. Right? Face makeup, scars, face paint is always super cool. Yeah, and that's Gabby's whole personality. She wants to be cool. So, here's what we got for Gabby so far. Let me just pull up this real quick. And, this is what Gabra looks like. Pretty silly. Pretty freaking silly looking. And so Gabby's gonna kind of have similar stuff. Like, she's gonna have kind of the brown hair, you know, maybe the brown eyes. These little things, I don't know what these are on him. She's kind of got that as well. So, yeah, I know. You know, you can see the horns on Gabra's head. You know, Gabby's got that as well. I don't know where the face makeup paint marking things come from. Gabra doesn't have that really. Like, I guess he does. That's not what I would call it, though. And so, very silly looking creature. There's a couple of, like, you know, artist renditions of what Gabra could look like One of my favorites is an artist named Matt Frank. He's got a pretty cool looking design for Gabara. So makes Gabara look way cooler looking. I'm still listening. Oh, you're good. You're good. And so Gabara's got some love, but you know, we're making Gabby look pretty. So every dead kaiju, I am convinced, has some sort of charisma to them. So every character that you see here is going to be, you know, interesting, you know, to say the least, in one way or another. Gabby's face marks remind me of a snake's forked tongue, which is intimidating, so it works, I think. That's an interesting way of looking at it. I kind of like that idea too. That is kind of it's a somewhat intimidating look to it. You can almost see her like put her fingers, you know, like 2 fingers under her eyes and just kind of slide down a little. You know, it's cool. I actually like Gabby's design. It's one of the few things that I really like about her. Let's thin this out a bit. Make her eye markings here. She goes. Let's get the nose here. Get her mouth. And a faint lip. Gotta give her eyebrows. She just looks weird without eyebrows. The cutesy clothes and bow don't suit her personality, based on her bully traits that you've said. But it's just to blend in as a uniform, I get it. Like, they all have school uniforms. But that does make a solid point. Maybe that's... I think that she should have it, though. And hear me out. She is... The personality of Gabby being the bully, right? She picks on children. She can't really pick on anyone her age or older. She's pathetic in that way. So it kind of, you know, if she were tougher, yeah, you know, maybe she would lose the bow. Maybe she'd open up her shirt a little, but just kind of show how, you know, like I'm a rebel. But that's not necessarily her. I don't see Gabby as a bad person, just misguided. The fact that she would still adhere to the school uniform regulations at least shows she's not entirely hopeless. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Jeez, this really was a picture that I drew a long time ago. I'm looking at the eyebrows, I'm like, I feel like I could have done that a bit better. Cool. That's a little better now. It's a little more organic now that she's got some eyebrows, huh? We'll take the actual pen and do some eyelashes. Let's see here. Not quite. Maybe decrease the size of them a bit. Wrong one. I almost clicked on the wrong tool. Give a little bit of some lashes down here. Just small, for the most part. Not even that big of a deal. When you look at it, you're not really going to think too much of it. That doesn't look too bad. Alright, her head's almost done then. Yeah, I'm real excited to work on this story. It's been something that I've been wanting to work on for years. The Daikaiju... Here's the real thing, right? It's not my story. I didn't make this. Like, the character Gabby here is actually not a character I made. It's a character that has already existed for a long time. I've just been a big fan of it ever since I first heard of it. The characters originated a long time ago on back when the internet was young. My brother made friends with on the channel we call him Cigarette, so that way we don't out his real identity. But he found this website. I think it was called Twisted Kaiju Theater, and on that website there was like a bunch of like the guy behind it would take like little action figures and make little comics with them. He'd take pictures of them, and I still think he does to this very day. But he had a small little subsection on his website called I don't know if it was called Neo Monster Island, or I think it was just called Daikaiju Academy. And on Daikaiju Academy's section was all of these anthropomorphic Daikaiju or characters. A lot of them were not safe for work pictures. And it is what it is in that regard. I was just a kid, so I never even saw this website. But my brother and Cigarette saw these characters, and they got the idea, like, what if we made a little roleplay game out of this? And so they found some characters, they saw the character designs, and there was these little bios about them, where it would say what their age was, what their favorite foods were, you know, what's their hobbies, what's their dislikes, you know, and a small little brief history about them as well. And on that is when they would find characters like Gabby, and they created their own characters and did a role-playing game with it. my brother would come home and he would tell me the stories of these characters. You know, of some of the stuff that they've done. And I loved to hear about it. And that was my very first interaction with Daikaiju, was that stuff there. I'm gonna pull up some art references real quick that I've drawn to kind of help me out here. Okay, I see. Very wholesome. Yeah, it was cute. Very. It didn't start off very wholesome, but yo, Shreddy, how's it going? Doing some Daikaiju stuff today. How about that, huh? And yeah, he saw these characters and was you're in pain? Why are you in pain? What happened? Hearing about kaiju stuff just gave me the best drawing idea. Oh, I'm glad we can inspire you. What you gonna draw, huh? Pushing weight. Ah, yes. So Danny's right. You hit the gym. I mean, I assume he does now. We're working on the manga. I've been talking about it all day. Working on just doing some Gabby stuff right now. I want to use her for, like, you know, some more stuff. Oh, Tiger Bolt, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Telling the origin story of Daikaiju at the moment. How my brother found it long time ago with Cigarette. And while it wasn't the greatest form, hearing the stories that my brother would tell me, I loved it. These characters held a very soft spot in my heart for the longest time. And so, having the opportunity now to work on something related to it is like a dream come true for me. And it's funny, right? Because like it didn't start off like all rainbows when we turned it into the roleplay game. The character, I started off playing this Daikaiju role-playing game with my brother way back in the day. Where I actually had a Godzilla Jr. inspired character. And that character didn't last very long. I didn't really care for it. But my brother gave me the idea to be an Ultraman. And I had this Ultraman character ever since. Remember, I told you that I've chosen that I'm going to try to make my own game engine because Unity, and because I don't want to use Unreal Engine. What are you going to use to make your own engine? Yeah, my Ultraman character's got a lot of different iterations, but in the end, what I settled with was, I tried dabbling into the Daikaiju community a long time ago, right? Yeah, that was Prototype Jack. I dabbled into... I don't know, I'll figure it out. Just make one first. Alright, have at it, my brother. It depends on what kind of game you're wanting to make. When I was learning how to make video games, I used a game engine called Game Maker. It prioritizes in 2D games, but I made a lot of fun games using that. So if you're making a 2D game, I could recommend that one. It's pretty user-friendly, too. Let's do it like this. Clean up a little bit here. There's my pen. Yeah, the Game Maker's still around. Undertale was built on it. A part of me's been tempted to pick it back up because it was fun to use back in the day. And I've been tempted to make like a visual novel or something with it, just to show that I can still make games. So, but I also think that for the game that I want to make, that it would be funny or whatever if I added some manual thing in it. That's meant to be like old game manuals. Hey, that'd be pretty cool. Well, it's a common thing nowadays to not even include manuals in game cases. So you could always we'll always add something like that. That'd be pretty dope. The what's it called? Yeah, the hearing the stories. I tried dabbling in the community before. When I started getting older, I made a fanfic idea. One of the ideas my brother had was introducing these characters from like a board game that he played one time. I don't remember. And he eventually created the what we call the kaiju hunters. We started establishing some lore among the Daikaiju idea. And it was pretty cool. So when I made my Ultraman character, I thought it would be fitting that he be a Daikaiju hunter. Yes, the Daikaiju hunters, yeah. And so he was my Ultraman character was at first kind of like a jerk. He hated kaiju, and they must be stopped. And that was kind of his whole thing. But the thing was, because he was Ultraman, he's eventually deemed too dangerous and was put in the same category as Daikaiju. Thing is, I like that story, but I didn't understand Daikaiju very well at the time, and I was only going off of some stories that I heard my brother tell. So eventually I actually did research and learned more about these characters, and my fanfic ideas came to a halt. And I rethought my Ultraman character quite a bit, and he became much better, in my personal opinion. He's much nicer. He actually loves the Daikaiju now. I missed the game manuals. There was some good lore in those pages that you'd completely miss if you didn't read them. The good old days. Looking nice. I must say, there's this gaming group that did the best version of Daikaiju, yes. Two very good-looking and talented young men are turning their game into a comic. Oh, man. These talented young men who are very cool, very awesome, and I guarantee you everybody loves them, and they're probably like the most handsome people you've ever met. I guarantee you they're working real hard on the story and making sure everything looks great, putting their heart and soul into the project. Yeah, what we've gotten now for Daikaiju, I think, is much better than anything I've ever seen for Daikaiju before, and I'm stoked. My excitement is real for this sort of thing. What's the little squares bits on her neck? Scales, perhaps? Yeah. If you kind of looking at that, the picture that I showed of Gabra before, you kind of see these weird looking like things on his neck and on his chest and his all this stuff. Gabby is wearing her school uniform, but she's got the same thing. It kind of goes from her neck down. So it's these weird little block things. It's part of her design. neck abs, yeah. That's just how shredded she is. She's got all the neck abs, yeah. Give this shoulder. And that's the thing about Daikaiju, right? They are kaiju in human form. Gabby with the slipper build, yeah. they are kaiju. They are powerful. Even though she's weak in comparison to Daikaiju, she still has the ability to, like, you know, take a parked car and, like, push it like to the side if she really wants to. She's still strong. It's just in the scale of Daikaiju, not the strongest. We actually use for role-playing, the little running reference to suit designs are very fun. Yeah, you know, that's one of the things I love, is that Daikaiju is very faithful to the designing of characters. It's very easy to just be like, I'm gonna make her blue, she's got like elf ears, that's Gabby. It's like, no, she's actually got these little neck pieces on her, and she's got the horns on her head. You know, if a Daikaiju has claws, then the character is going to have claws, you know. It's pretty cool. I'd argue the Kongs are probably the simplest looking ones. You're right. I probably agree with you. I don't think there's a simpler look to Daikaiju than Kongs. They're just kind of like people, but like bigger ears and fuzzier faces. That's basically what they are. Yeah, I always imagine Calvin having big ears. Yeah, it's a Kong, so absolutely. What's it? There is another Kong on the in the story. Before Shreddy came up with this character Calvin, which is going to be one of the main characters of the story, there was another character named Donna Kong. And so when creating a design reference for Calvin, I looked a lot into Donna Kong's designs. And that helped out a lot. Weeb, I also, for some reason, want to make the things like volume bar look like a volume bar from an old TV. Have at it. A lot of the stuff that you're going to do, though, is going to be dependent on the game engine that you use, so make sure you put a lot of effort into that game engine. My little Gabby. It's one of my favorite characters back in the day. I drew some more designs. I was tempted to show them off in today's stream, but I decided against it. I'll save it for a later day. But I drew one of the main characters, Tobias, and today I drew his sister, Gaina, which in the Daikaiju community for the longest time was like the face of Daikaiju. Whenever you looked at Twisted Kaiju Theater's Daikaiju Academy section, Gaina was usually front and center on it. And so Gaina is probably the character I've drawn the most when it comes to the Daikaiju. I think Calvin is one of the buffest of the Daikaiju we encounter, but he's actually into bodybuilding, so that makes sense. Yeah, I like the idea that the Kongs are like natural bodybuilders. They do weightlifting. They, look to get stronger physically, and it brings out the best of the character. And that's Donna Kong's whole thing. Her whole relationship with Calvin is that she constantly wants to fight him, to prove that she's gotten stronger, to be better, and almost look for his approval in some way. Why did Australia name a spider that's just a bigger version of the most dangerous spider in the world, Big Boy? Eh. Go ask an Australian. Fun fact, every version of this character I've played has two idols, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Donkey Kong. This is not a joke, this is 100% canon. It's true. I remember this. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome, actually. He's bigger than the previous boy. Oh, big boy. Is this supposed to be a finger? Probably shrink this a little and this. Kind of make it look a little better. Big boy be upon ye. Oh, oi. Donkey Kong got dripped. What can I say? It's true. Donkey Kong is pretty tripped out. I also look up to Arnold IRL because he's taller than me, so I have to look up. Yeah, just common sense. You gotta look up to the guy who's bigger than you. Duh. Now that I look at this hand, it really does look unfinished. I don't know if I ever finished drawing this hand. Go. Looking nice. He is one of the greatest of all time, to be fair. It's true. Lou Ferrigno and Frank Zane are another two favorites of mine. I know Lou Ferrigno. I don't know about Frank. I don't know who that is. Groose. I am Groose. That's what that one character said from what was it, DC Comics? Yeah. Headcanon that Donkey Kong and the mascot for Gorilla Snot Hair Gel are distantly related. I kind of like that. I kind of like that headcanon as well. keeping that in the bank. She's got the nail, so let's go ahead and do claw right there. Frank Zane was a contemporary of Arnold and Lou during their... I almost read FBI. Alright, IFBB. That stands for... ironically... fairly based boys. That's what it stands for. DK. Donkey Kong. He's a donkey. He's not. He's a gorilla. He's a Donkey Kong. And then there's Chunky. He's dead. I don't remember who showed me that meme, but that was like the funniest thing at the time. IFBB stands for Internal Fever Butt Bombs. Oh, love that. You did? I feel like... Shoot, I'm dying. I feel like I had like 7 people show me that film, that video, and every time I forgot I seen it before. Like, you showed it to me. I feel like freaking Crab showed it to me. I think Ava showed it to me. I'm just like, everyone showed it to me, and every time I'm just like, dude, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I freaking love this song. For some reason, this drawing reminds me of Sailor Moon. It's probably the bow and like the little collar. Yeah, I mean, I could see Sailor Moon. When's the next chaotic masterpiece? I was gonna do it like a week or 2 ago, and I was having a bit of a rough day, and I was just like, I don't know if I can like stomach it at the moment. I was just really having a hard time, so I was like, I'm not gonna do it today. So at the moment, I don't know. Right now, I'm more beautiful. At the moment, I don't know when, but I'll eventually get back to it one of these days. Almost finished with the line art. The silence during the Jeff dating was so loud. It's hard to speak over. One of these days, like, I'm gonna have to say an entire thing, and I can't let my thought deviate, otherwise I'll forget what it is I'm talking about. And I have to say it, and everyone's just gonna spam Jeff during that time. I guarantee it's gonna happen. Do you think next week is good? I don't know, brother. We'll see. If I'm able to, I will. But it's a lot of mental strain to do a not children with back pain. Freaking chaotic masterpiece. Don't tempt me to spam Jeff. What do you think I'm saving my Weeb coins up for? It's not for devious reasons. If not for devious reasons. Oh. How many Weeb coins do you even have? Dare I ask? What makes Chaotic Masterpiece do great is how unchill it is. It's true. I do enjoy a Chaotic Masterpiece. I need to be in a chill mood in order to do it, though. That's the thing. If I'm just like, you know what sounds good right now? Absolute unhinged chaos. Then yeah, we'll do a Chaotic Masterpiece. Look at her. Looking nice. Let's do some faint lines here. Kind of show the skirt. Act. Let's redo this portion here. And we'll clean it up a bit. Looking good. Ethan, I messed up. What'd you do? Oh, we're not done yet. We gotta do this portion as well. Just do this. I think that is the basic line art of Gabby. Doesn't look too bad. I asked who Joe is. Oh, why would you do that? Ethan, I captured a creature. Did you eat it? So, now that we did that, I think it's only appropriate. I'm going to actually take out my hand-drawn version. Let me just flip through. There it is. I'm just going to kind of use it as a reference going forward. And we'll start making this picture look a little nice. This is where we pull out the actual pen. Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers, the best of the four. I started watching a little bit of that. I watched a couple of YouTube shorts on it. I actually think those guys are really funny. Let's clean up a little too. Like, there's no need for that to be there. Oh, Practical Jokers is the best show ever. It is really funny. Someone had told me about it a long time ago, and I was just like, man, that's, I don't know if that's like my kind of show, but it is my sense of humor. So, you gotta at least give it a shot. Watch them back on normal TV. Oh my gosh, back in the Stone Age. Ugh. Blew my mind with how funny the four of them were with each other. Yeah, dude. Love it. It's the sort of thing I aspire to be. Reliable grouches. Oh, what's that? She's got this like nice little strand out here. I wonder if I can add a few more of those. Just how thick is it? Yeah, it's that size. So like just add one like right here. Add one here. Just kind of shows she's a little messy. Maybe we'll add one here as well. Cute. Practical pranksters. Oh. Ugh. Let's see. So, what I would like to do is maybe give some extra details. For an example is we'll get rid of this. Make it look a little more natural. I want the Impractical Jokers to prank Chris Bumstead by stealing his supply of D-Bowl leading up to the show's season. I don't know what that means. Wait, Ethan, have I already told you I'm gonna call the game I'm gonna make Fractured Hexel? Sorry. No, I don't think you did. How did you pronounce Hexel? Hexel? I don't know. I just saw it and just said the word. I'm saying they should steal his steroids. Oh, big brain. Steal the man's steroids. Helix. It's pronounced Hexel. Thank you. I'm sorry you guys don't know how to read. Freaking idiots. You must be so embarrassed that you don't even know how to pronounce the word right. Can't believe you. Can't gas lamp you. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not gas lamping you. I'm just telling you, you guys don't know how to pronounce words. Come on now. And that couldn't be me. I always pronounce words. Usually right as well. I'm gonna lamp gas you. Oh. Ethan, have I told you the gas lamp story? But yeah, of course. It's like, no, I told him. I told the story before. You remember, it was one of your favorite stories. Freaking Ava hit me with the joke like that. It's like, I told you the gaslighting joke? And it was just like, I was like, no. He's like, yeah, I told you before. It's like, huh? I've told you the gaslighting joke. It's one of your favorites. You heard the story of the boy named Finger? You don't want to know how he got that name. Helix, like how you pronounce C or B. I don't know what you're talking about. I pronounced the word right. Oops. I have an eraser on? Dang. Alright. Check this out. I think that's good there. Anything we might... Let me take a look. Did I give a design to this? Haven't yet. I don't know if I should. Let me look up some school uniforms real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So what we'll do is do this number. Like that. Kind of make it look a little nicer. That's so many words. Kirby. Nah. That's a name you should know. Kirby? I know Kirby. These two big. I need to decrease the size here. Maybe we'll make him a little thinner. Kind of like this. Ugh. I see someone else who knows Kirby right back at you. Oh man, Kirby, right back at you. That was one of those 4Kids shows. I remember the episode where Kirby had a pet dog robot thing and it dies at the end. It's pretty cool. Gaslighting isn't real, you made that up. Oh. Memory, sensory, emotional, and judgment. These were the ingredients used to make the perfect little girls. All right. All right, cool. I think let's move on to coloring. We can add more detail to her after coloring's finished, I think. So we'll do color. So Gabby, not going off of this picture here, it's got like light brown hair. I do have other pictures as reference, so I'm just gonna look at those real quick. I went to my D&D folder. Gosh dang it. Gabby, where is she? There she is. Yeah, it's kind of like the typical agreement of what Gabby's hair color is. It's kind of like a reddish brown. So let me get not quite that. Watch the entire Kirby Right Back at You anime thanks to YouTube. Heck yeah. Finish the drawing idea. What did you draw? Oh, worm! What? Word. Oh, that's beautiful. I respect that. So I got that. Reese. No. Almost more like this sort of look. I guess that could work. Maybe a little brighter. I think this should be fine. I think. May have gotten an idea with Fiesta and Godzilla. Oh, a Godzilla and Fiesta crossover? That sounds amazing. Oh, actually, I have drawn a picture of Gabby a million years ago, haven't I? Hold on. What did I... Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'm comfortable showing that. It's a long time ago, so... Like the Attack on Titan opening music. Oh, dude, I love it too. It's a Sagio. Kirby and the Forgotten Land has furry bat characters. Say no more, I won't watch it. Let's see. Meant to say bait! Say no more. Okay. Gosh, I'm gonna have to be a perfectionist here. Alright. I am going to do something a little wacky. Can I take this? I cannot. I'm so used to having two screens. I was trying to see if I can't split screen this. Can I have two things up at the same time? I don't know if I can. Nope. Cool. Oh well. We'll work with what we got. Let's color her hair in. I'm gonna increase the size of my mark pen so we can get a lot of this in here. I'm gonna go listen to Kirby. Go for it. I'll tell you what. 4Kids back in the day had some pretty funny, but unironically catchy intro songs. This is Black Clover, right? I couldn't tell you. I've never watched Black Clover. I watched the first 3 episodes of Black Clover and was like, this is not for me. Time to assault my ears because my curiosity is never sated. Go for it. Check out the One Piece 4 Kids song. That song is so catchy. Yeah. I love the 4 Kids One Piece opening. Yeah! Isn't it good? It's like, holy shoot, it has no right being that good. The 4 Kids One Piece dub is like the prime example of why 4 Kids died in the first place. But that intro song, man, so good. I said this to Danny. A rap battle between the German Naruto opening guy and the 4 Kids One Piece guy would go hard. I believe it. The what is it? The people who made the One Piece though song, I believe, also did like the Sonic X song, which is also a fun one because that was the thing that gave Sonic his iconic catchphrase of "Gotta go fast, gotta go soon." But great drawing, and hope you have a great night. Also, totally check out the art channel when you can. Oh, let me check out this art channel. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Oh. Gotta give that a freaking whoa. There you go. Absolutely beautiful. Sorry. It's beautiful looking. Let me show you guys. We'll put this here, right? There's Gabby. Check this out. Bam! Fiestazilla. Look at it! Look at all those tails! Holy crap! It's amazing! Whoa! How does he crank these out so fast? Yeah, dude, that's crazy. It's beautiful, though. I love it. I absolutely love that. That's amazing. Oops. Terrible news, Weeb. Gene Hackman is gone. We know who that is. What has he done? What was he in Superman? Oh, was he like Luthor? No. He totally was. Dang. That's sad, yeah. Dang. That is terrible news. I don't think I've really seen too many of his films, but like I definitely know him as Lex Luthor. Of course he draws fast. He's got fish to catch. Oh, got those fish. Yeah, we'll add a lot more design flair to this. When we do make the manga, it is going to be a black and white story, so I won't have to worry too much about coloring. And that's just good for me because I'm not the greatest at coloring, I think. When I was doing Fairyland, like 5 years ago, the colors were simple, and I still might keep that simplicity whenever I do get back to working on Fairyland, but yeah, I mean, like, oh. Coloring is a lot of fun though. It's when you get to see the character really pop. They come to life. Full Metal Alchemist openings are some of my favorite songs ever. Mine too. What was it?
Ohio.
Oh, Lady Rosie, hello, how you doing? Welcome, hi. How you doing today? Welcome, welcome. Just chilling and drawing today. How you doing? There's I think it was the 4th opening to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It is probably one of my favorite anime openings ever. Oops. I goofed. This is the first ending, yeah. Love Full Metal Alchemist music. Oops. Well, Talia, welcome back. How you doing? This one particular opening is titled Uso, which means lie in Japanese. That also checks out for Full Metal Alchemist, though. Beautiful story. I remember... Well, when did I watch it? I remember there was, like, a family get-together, and I was so upset because I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to go watch Full Metal Alchemist. And I remember the entire time just thinking, I'm like... I don't remember where I was at, but that show got me thinking about stuff. And I was just like, man, this show's good. It does have great music. It's true. It does have great music. I think I really like the world of Full Metal Alchemist as well. I like it when it's like the world is kind of like ours, but there's just enough differences to make it its own, and then it just makes it its own world that it's not even Earth at all. One of my favorites. Still in the hospital, unfortunately, after I dislocated my kneecap. So that's just great. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Hope things get better for you. That's no fun. Yeah. I can't imagine. Appreciate the kindness. Yeah, no problem. I hope things get better for you. It's never fun going through something like that. Anything that has to do with going to the hospital is just like it's not cool. It's not a good space. I mean, it's a good place to be when you're going through things, but I do my best to I don't want to go there ever. I like that anime has a tendency to make its own worlds. Yeah. Making its own things. It's like when you have to deal with real world locations, I'm just like, alright, it is what it is. But when you get your own world and it's just like, oh, we're going to this place and it has its own history. You're like, ooh, fascinating. Don't listen to the doctors. They'll take your bones and use them for soup. They do that. They do that. I'm such a messy artist. The smallest of details are the things that get me. So the rate in which we're going to bring this out is probably going to be a little slow. My line of thinking, this is what I do for what I intend to do when I get back to Fairyland. We're not going to release it right as it's finished. Right, chapter 1. We're going to hold on to it. We're going to try releasing this. We're going to try getting 2 chapters done. And then once chapter 3 is beginning progress, that's when we start to release chapter 1. And it's going to be a monthly release. That's the plan, at least. Things are likely to change, but that's the idea. I like the art. It's cute. Thank you so much. I really like how it's coming out, too. Plenty more cute girls where that came from, trust. Oh, yeah. It's not even the cutest one, I think. Gabby's adorable, but not the cutest one, in my opinion. We're gonna have very many cute ones. There she is. What kind of eyes does Gabby have? It's kind of the same color eyes, I think. I drew Gabby before, and she did have the same color eyes. Okay, so I have a project to work on, but then I'm getting on chapter 1 again. Yeah, no, you're good. I thought a bit about it. Lala's best girl. Yeah, Lala was a character I was tempted to draw today instead of Gabby. But Gabby's simpler in design, so I was like, I'm just gonna do Gabby. But yeah, no, we got some fun stuff. I was thinking about it. I do have another story that I'm doing, and it's going to be kind of being released at the same time as Daikaiju here. And that was Level Up, Please. So, and that's a much shorter story. I don't expect it to last very long, but it's kind of something to do while progress gets a little slow on Daikaiju. Look at her. My question is... Yeah, that's what I figured. Let's do her eyebrows real quick. Yeah, there's a character in Daikaiju. Her name is Lala. The character that Shreddy is referring to. Lala is based off of the monster Gilala. And Gilala is an alien creature. So as such, Lala has some alien characteristics. Thing is, she's weird. Like, really weird. She doesn't really care for personal space too much. She's not exactly the smartest character either, so she's kind of got the dumb factor going for her. But she is very wholesome, and very similar to Gabby, actually, in the sense that she can't fight. Gabby could probably beat Lala in a fight. But Lala is meant to be more silly. I think she's lovable. And honestly, whenever she shows up in the story, I hope you guys will like her too. Probably one of my favorite characters. There's Gabby's hair. Her horns are standard horn color. Maybe a little tan. It's kind of the same color as her little, like, neck pieces. Let's see. So I kind of got to get a tan color here. Maybe something like this. Let's see how this looks. Not too bad. Probably add a few details to the horns here soon as well, after all the color has been done. Yeah. So a lot of fun stuff in store for this particular story. The idea of the story, right? The genre that I describe it as is a slice of life shonen mix, right? The slice of life is one of my favorite genres of anime and manga. That's not to say that's the only thing I read, or watch even. But the thing is that these characters, they live on an island full of giant monsters, or not giant monsters, but they live on an island full of these monstrous people. And so fights are bound to break out. That said, that's not the only thing they live for. It's kind of in their nature to fight. So it's inevitable. Throughout the story, I will be also showing some lore rules, if you will. It's rules for us as creators of the story, but it's lore in the eyes of everything else. For instance, the way Daikaiju operate, right? Or what kind of Daikaiju can you expect to see in the story? Well, there is a rule that basically only allows 2 variants of a kaiju. So let's take Gabara for an example. The 2 variants can only be male and female. So they have to be distinct in 2 different characters, but you can't do any more than that. So Gabby is obviously the female counterpart, so we have room as creators of the story to create a male counterpart if we so desire. And we don't, but the idea is the same though. You have that's kind of what that was, and there's only so many that you're gonna see that actually kind of abide by this rule. And it's mostly for if me and my brother, who were at the time when we made this rule, we're just like, if we want to create new Daikaiju, we know what our limits are. But I figured it makes a fun lore rule as well. One of my proudest things, though, for this was in the Daikaiju community, there's already exists a ton of Daikaiju. And I had asked my brother at the time if there was a variant of Dr. Serizawa, which is a very prominent member in the Godzilla lore. You know, he shows up in the very first Godzilla movie. He's the guy who creates the oxygen destroyer and kills Godzilla. But and then in legendary movies, he is a researcher, like the head researcher of Kaiju and Monarch. So that's pretty dope. I figured we needed one for Daikaiju as well. So there's going to be this character that kind of gets mentioned quite a few times, Dr. Serizawa. And the character will eventually show up in the story. But every single lore bit that is created, every single rule that's established for Daikaiju comes from Serizawa. So it's going to be pretty cool. Now, despite the fact that Gabara is like green, like if I were to take this, it's kind of green. I guess it is more on the blue side. Gabby's skin is like dark blue, like she's got like a blue color to her. Honestly, no, not that kind of blue. We need it to be a little thicker, a little darker. It's a blue woman. Maybe like this. Is that right? Be a little lighter. I'd say this. That looks good. We're gonna color her ear in. Yeah, back in the day when I first started doing this Daikaiju game with my friends, what I wanted to do is I wanted to draw every Daikaiju character we come across. So it's like, all right, yeah, well, I'll draw this person, I'll draw that, and my art wasn't that great back then. I thought it was fine, but it really wasn't that good. And so Gabby since she was the first like Daikaiju that we actually fought in the game, I drew her. So I actually do have another picture of Gabby, and the differences between them are night and day. I might show you guys, but it is cringy for me to look at, honestly. I thought it was fine at the time, but it really wasn't. Oops. It's actually a nice color for her, too. And the story is going to be... Oh, Christopher, how you doing? Just joined the designing, yeah. We're designing characters. We're working on a character that we're going to be doing for a webcomic that I'm working on with Shredneck. He's my co-host for children with back pain, and we're doing a character design right now for a character named Gabby. One of my probably one of my favorite designs. She's very simplistic, but just enough detail to make her unique. And so it's very, very nice. I don't even remember what I was saying. I was saying something important, but it's whatever. Kiddos with scoliosis. Oh. Yeah, she blue. She's a blue lady. Ugh. Straighten out my back. Let me send a text message real quick. Sorry, I was sending a text message real quick. Ghost, how you doing? Just remembered I had to do something, and I was like, oh shoot, I'm actually late to do this thing. So I just sent the text message to see if someone else can do it for me. Oh, how you doing, Ghost, by the way? We're drawing characters. Finally made it to an art stream, yeah! Yeah, we're drawing a character, her name is Gabby. She is a creature known as a Daikaiju, which is kind of like an anthropomorphic monster person based off of a giant monster. Gabby, in particular, is based off of a Godzilla monster named Gabara. So, you know, he's got this weird looking thing. You got horns on her head, you know, these weird little neck pieces on him. And so right now we're coloring. Doing great. Finished all of my exams. Oh yeah? That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Bet you're happy they're done, huh? And now have no school until Wednesday next week. Ooh. Time off? What are you gonna do with your time off? Gonna do something cool? Do something fun? Carnival. Oh. That sounds dope. I'll be working on my drawing skills. Ooh. Heck yeah. Get those skills up. Oop, kind of went into the eyebrow there. Yeah, just gonna do that. Oh, Gaming Master, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Ah, bro, I finished Doki Doki Family series, so now 6 series are done. Heck yeah. That sounds great. Yeah, we're drawing today. Drawing the blue woman. Back when I first drew this character, and I showed off my early design to my group of friends. One of my friends, we call him Blonde here on the channel. He saw the character design and all he said was blue woman. So it's just kind of stuck with me now. Whenever I draw her, I'm just like, blue woman. I am not good at coloring, but for now I am learning proportions again. Hey, that's important. You gotta learn the proportions. That's something I also struggle with sometimes. I'll be drawing a character and I'll be like, does this character look too tall? Are the arms too lanky? You know, it's important to do that. Ah, link between worlds. Nice, nice. Yeah. I'm excited to get this freaking comic going, though. It's gonna be pretty cool, I think. I wish I knew when we were gonna be releasing it, but it's probably gonna take a couple of months. Because like I said, I want to make sure we have at least a couple chapters made first. And then we'll start releasing it. So that way, should anything happen and we're not on schedule or something, we have some backup chapters. But because it's a webcomic that me and Shreddy are doing, there's no real deadline for it. Shreddy even told me that, like, because there's no deadline, we should take our time and release it whenever we are ready, rather than having an actual schedule. I'm fine with that. I'm not fine with that in general, but if that's what he wants to do, then so be it. I realized when I was drawing my Urahara that he looked off. Yeah? How'd you figure? Eyes here. happens to me often that body parts are too small or too big. My biggest problem is that I always draw so small. Yeah, my problem is that is the exact opposite. I always draw big, and I'm like now it takes up too much space. It's like whenever I try, I'm like, I want to do a full body design from head to toe. And whenever I start drawing the person, I'd never have enough space to like draw their feet or anything like that. It's all like too small or too big rather. And even I'm right there with you. I'm not exactly good at coloring either. I wish I was, but I'm not. I just don't have any more space. In the face for the eyes for sometimes because I draw so small. Yeah, I hear ya. There we go. There she is there. Now I believe the eye makeup portion's still blue, but it's like darker. So it's like this. There we go. There's our blue girl. It's coming along nicely. There we go. There's Gabby. Now we just gotta... Let's go ahead and color her arms next, since we are on the blue. I also have a big problem is I always compare my art skills with my friends. That is a big problem. Don't do that. Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter when they start, it doesn't matter when they do things. Though it's important not to compare. You could show off each other's art to your friends, but the idea of doing that should be to help build your confidence. You know, it's not fair to do that. I'll tell you one thing, like, practice does make perfect. That's something I've learned through doing art. Like, doing that 100-day challenge that I saw PewDiePie do a long time ago was something that I did myself, and it really does boost up your art skills. You know, you look at you draw something, it may not come out perfect, but just commit to drawing something for once a day, a couple times a day, whatever it may be, whatever you have time for. And you actually get a lot of skills by doing that. So enough of me. How was your day? Anything new happened? Not really. I've been sick for the past week and a half or so, and I'm starting to get over it, so I feel a whole lot better now. Shreddy and I had talked about this comic that we were doing. We wanted to do Daikaiju, and it was good. You know, we talked about it on Children with Back Pain. We were excited for it, but because I got sick, I wasn't able to really do much with it. Now that I'm getting better, I talked with Shreddy not too long ago, and he's working on the script for the story, and I'm doing the art for it. I also do have a say in where the story goes as a whole, but for the most part, my portion of the comic is to draw it. So, I mean, I'm super excited to get right on it. Yeah, it is. I think it's cool too. I honestly do. It's been a while since I've done any webcomics, and I'm excited to do this one. Especially since this is a project that I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's a project that's close to my heart. It's something I've known ever since I was a kid, and I've wanted to do it. So now that I'm able to do it now, I'm excited for it. You'll read it? I hope so, man. It's good. I hope you'll like it more than anything. The character I'm drawing is one of the characters that will show up in it. Her name is Gabby, and she's just a little character. I tell you my opinion on it. Oh. Hopefully it's an opinion I can agree with. So, I believe she has blue arms. Oh, she's actually got these little spots on her. Oh, I never noticed that. I actually have to draw those on her. Yeah. It's the story's already predetermined, basically. It was based off a role-playing game that I did with my friends. So we already have an idea of where the story's going to go and how things are going to work out. So I have an idea of some characters that are going to show up. And sadly, the character I'm drawing right now doesn't actually show up for very long. She's got a design that I absolutely love, but just I never used her too much in the role-playing game, so she doesn't really have that big of an impact on the story. Like, she will show up occasionally here and there, but she's gonna be very much just like a cameo character, right? Like she'll pop up and say a few words here and there, but for the most part, she doesn't have the biggest role in the story. Oops. What's it called? It's called Daikaiju. It's the plot of it is these characters have these parts of monsters in them, basically. Like they are part kaiju and have more of a humanoid form. They have the spirit of the kaiju inside them, so their personality kind of takes on a bit of that monster, but they are their own person. So, for instance, right, Gabby here is based off of Gabara. Gabara is a kaiju from Godzilla, like a long time ago, one of the old Godzilla movies. And Gabara's whole thing was he picked on Godzilla's son and just made the Godzilla's son's life absolutely terrible. And Gabara has like some sort of shock power, so it would kind of just torture the kid. And eventually Godzilla shows up and beats the living crap out of Gamera, and that's the end of that. So, keeping that in mind, Gabby is a bully. Gabby is a bully who doesn't really care too much for people. She's a terrible fighter. So there's that. And she's kind of a pushover, right? She only picks on people smaller than her, and she's like 5'2", you know? So she's like maybe 5 foot even. She's super short. And so as a result, she mostly picks on kids. And her involvement in the story is that her goal is that she wants to be a gang leader. So she tries her best to be tough and hang out with a tough crowd, you know. But she's not tough. She's a pushover. Whenever the tough gets going, she will get going as well. You know, she's leaving. She's not sticking around. And she tries to fight one of the main characters in the story, but it gets absolutely trashed on. You know, she's not that great of a fighter. But she ends up holding some respect for the main party after a while, just because you know, she's got that respect in her. And I was hoping that she would become more relevant in the role-playing game that we were doing, but she wasn't. So unfortunately, in the story, she's not going to be all that relevant either. Let's see here. That's what I figured. I'm going to take this here. Might lighten it up a little. We're going to make her nails kind of this color. All around, though, I do like her. And because we're doing this manga, this webcomic now, we're probably going to give her a little more extra screen time. Let her kind of shine a bit. So she actually got... I didn't notice this about her design. She's actually got these little spots on her. Try to make it nice and light. Just kind of put a few of these spots on her here. Couple up here as well. There we go. Kind of like that. There she is. Our blue girl. Alright. Let's take a look-see here. I have this costume on her. Let's take a see. I don't really know what kind of colors I want. Obviously the bow is going to be red. But let me just get a good example. Okay, hear me out. We're going to go with this. cool. Actually, that's exactly what we're doing. All right. Give me blue. Like maybe a darker blue, like that. Here we go. Give her some color. They all wear school uniforms. They're allowed to, you know, alter it a little bit, but because in the end they're kaiju, what are you gonna do to stop them? There actually is a force on the island that they all live on. But that is supposed to kind of keep them, like, you know, relegated. I feel so sleepy. Should get some rest. These drawing streams, for the most part, are meant to be relaxing, so if you fall asleep, then go relax. They're not meant to be these high-strained things. Man, I wish I didn't do all that physical work. Ah, it's good for you. It's good for you. I really enjoy watching you draw. I appreciate that. I get worried that I'm boring with my art stream, so I try to find something to talk about during this time. But then I'll just kind of zone out because I'm like into the artwork and I'm like, oh, I'm just so focused on it. But hopefully I'm at least somewhat entertaining with it. Hoi hoi. Skinny body doesn't even get muscle from training, but I still do it anyways. And it takes lots of time. It entertains me, and that's all good. I'm glad. Yeah, man, I'll tell you what. I need to get back into my routine. I've been sick, so I've like let myself go. I need to get back to my exercise. Get back into all of that stuff. Hoi hoi. Yeah, ideally we'll be having this story come out in a few months. I was hoping to get it out by next month, but if I follow the plan that I've set, it's gonna take at least like 2 to 3 months before we actually get the first chapter out. In the meantime, I am going to be working on another story on the side that hopefully I can get out sometime next month. Wish you guys a good stream, but I'm so tired, can't take it anymore. Yeah, no, go get some rest. I appreciate you being here, Ghost. You relax, alright? I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye. You take it easy. Oh. And I believe for the sleeves, we're just gonna color them blue as well. There we go. I say sleeves, it's cuffs. Gotta color the cuffs. Get that in there. We'll add more detail to it a little later. Right now, I'm just focusing on the basic color. Let's get the bow. The bow, I want it to be red, but I don't want it to be like super red. Maybe light. Almost pinkish. I'll tell you what, right? It's a running joke in my group. When we do the role-playing game of Daikaiju, we call it the best Godzilla anime. And it's supposed to be because we love our game, right? We have a lot of fun with it. But it's also a sad truth as well. Godzilla anime has not had a very good run, in my opinion. Right? Like, the anime that we got of Godzilla, there's like, you could argue there's 4 of them, but there's a trilogy of movies and a show. The trilogy of movies, I think it's known as the Polygon trilogy, but it's the one with Godzilla Earth in it. That movie trilogy is kind of boring. it's kind of lame, right? Like, I don't like what they did with the giant monsters. Apparently, my brother told me this. Apparently, the lore behind it all is super fascinating. Like, it would have been an incredible show if it was like about the lore behind all that. But you're seeing the aftermath of it, and it's just kind of lame. The show is called Singular Point, and that show was so mind-numbing. It was absolutely insane. My brother and I were like, it came out on Netflix, and we're like, the whole thing was out on Netflix. We're like, we're gonna watch all of it. We're gonna sit down. We got pizza rolls, we got soda, and we got all these snacks, and we were just gonna sit down and watch the whole thing. And I think halfway through, we were like, let's take a quick break. And we just got up and stretched our legs, and we're like, how you holding up? And my brother was just like, ugh. It was so hard to get through. Now, honestly, the show wasn't even really about Godzilla per se. Like, he kind of was the central focus of it, but it wasn't him that it was the central focus. It was whatever it was that he was about. Like, he was known as the Singular Point, and if he reaches this point in the city, it's gonna be terrible. And so the whole show was about Jaguar, of all characters, kind of alongside this group of researchers, like, trying to do stuff. I don't even remember. There's a couple of other monsters that would show up, and it was so silly. Like, there's a bit, right? Anguirus showed up during that. Anguirus shows up, and they're just like, they're like, oh, we gotta kill it. And they take aim, and they start shooting these weapons at it, and his spikes, like, on his back start to kind of, like, move a bit, and suddenly, he's gone. And they're like, what happened? Where'd he go? We have to find it. And, they're thinking, like, I think he teleported. It's the only thing. And then someone comes up like, no. Clearly what happened was he time traveled. It was so out there. It was like, what? And they tried making sense of it, and it was just like, this is like the smartest, dumbest show I've ever seen in my life. Oh, man. It was wacky. Singular point? Yes. Singular point. I was telling the joke about how, you know, in our inside joke that Daikaiju is the best Godzilla anime. And I'm like, as funny as that is, it's a sad truth to it that Godzilla's anime just has not been good. It's really sad. I'm just taking the opportunity to crap on Godzilla singular point as well. Real tragic. Like, it's not an anime, but it's probably the best thing Godzilla's got is the Godzilla animated series featuring freaking Zilla. So it's just like, dang. That's the best, air quotes, anime Godzilla can get. I say anime because, you know, in Japan, I'm sure it's considered an anime. So, come on now. It's gotta be worth something, right? I'll tell you what, though. A show that I kind of want to watch is a show on Toho's YouTube channel called Goziban, I think is what it's called. My brother talks about it occasionally. That show is like done with puppets, and it's meant for little kids. It is kind of silly, stupid, but I kind of want to check it out. I think there's an English sub version to it, so I might watch it. And what's sick about it, there's actually a really cool thing they do. They actually bring in freaking Bagan from Super Godzilla as a full-on marionette puppet like they did back in the old days of like the Heisei era. They actually have it on display and everything, and this thing is massive. It's as big as it should be if they were ever going to make another suit movie with Godzilla. And I believe, I could be wrong, I don't know if they ever did this, but they were teasing Super Godzilla showing up as well. And I'm just like, whoa. How cool would that be? The only time we can get Super Godzilla on screen is through freaking, like, Goziban. It's so silly. But, you know what? I'll take it. Especially if it looks as good as I think it's gonna look. Like, Bagan looks fantastic. Like, I wish Bagan was actually in the movie. Oh, there's Gabby. Ugh. Man. So silly. She blue. Yeah, blue woman. She is a blue woman. Oh, jeez. Got a little bit more detail to her. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do this as a separate piece. Yeah, put it right here. I'm gonna call it extra detail. And the reason why is because just in case I don't like it, I can just press a button and it's gone. Let me take a look at this reference that I have for her. I actually gave her a little bit of like blushies. I don't know if I really want her to have that, but it's like, it's kind of like, oh, that's thick. All right, give me something lighter, almost like this. That's another thing. Let me take a look, see real quick at some of these references I've got. Might make her lip a little lighter blue. Let's see how that looks. Oh, I made the dang thing so small. Okay. Can't say I'm a big fan of that. Maybe instead of lighter, maybe a darker blue? Let's take a look at that. Let's see how that looks. Maybe if we had a little bit of a upper lip as well. Oh, Ava! Ah, how you doing? How you doing today? An interesting look to it. You got me sick. You're welcome. How did I get you sick? I didn't touch you. I didn't do anything to you. Let's do new. We're gonna do shading as well. Existing in your general area did it. Ah, you know what? That'll probably do it. I didn't think about that. Well, just take it as an opportunity to rest. Let's blend this a little. Ooh, that's a thick brush. Yeah, way too thick. Okay. All right. Get right in on the eye there. Yeah. You could use this opportunity to get better at Marvel Rivals. That way you don't hold me back next time. Listen, what's up? Played 3 games of Human Torch. What do you think of Human Torch? I'm back in Gold 1. Ah, yes. That tells me everything I need to know. I've been trolling in one of them. Oh, I see. Amazing. I think he saw it. He's cool. Oh, it's the exact opposite of hot. I just don't really like flyers. Yeah, I kind of feel that. I'm not much of a. I like the Thing more than the Human Torch, but even then, I think I'm just gonna stick with what I'm good at. I'm gonna keep using Jeff while using Penny Parker if I absolutely need to go tank. Yeah, he's fun. I did like the Thing. Oops. Let's color. Let's do color. Just right click, I win. There you go. It's great. Ice shading actually makes all the difference, doesn't it? Fact. Let's do this. Add a little bit of color to the eye. Kind of like that. She's coming along nicely now, ain't she? Let's get back to that shading. What we need is darker blue color. And we're gonna kind of, let's do this. Like that. So I can kind of get a good idea. And we'll blur it together. Oh, dang. Ugh. Let's add some more detail to that hair. Extra detail. That was the thing that I was really wanting to do to begin with. Let's see. How do I do it in my sketch? Oof. Not the biggest fan of that. Did this. So it's kind of like that, but I don't know. Let's just make it smaller. Smaller details. Oh, should add some layer to it. Let's blur it a little. I don't know about that. Let's change the blending tool to this. That looks okay, I guess. If we zoom out, maybe not. I think I'm adding too many lines. I think that might be a problem. Let's clean up a bit. Yeah, we don't want too many of them, I think, because that might add too much to it. We lower this to 75, decrease it to the size of 1. There we go. That's just the right amount. Same thing needs to be done with this. Kind of add some lines to it, kind of give some depth to it. Do this here. I'm going to kind of add some darkness around the eye a bit. I'm going to kind of blur it. Not like that though, with a different blurring tool. This one. I think that blurred a little too much on the top here. I don't think she looks that half bad, huh? Let's do this side as well. About to fight the final boss of Stellar Blade. Oh. Man, I was convinced there was no final boss with how we play it. Oh. Selfie blade. Oh. Tell you what, man. Played Stellar Blade. Such a ride. I need to get back to it. I just don't know if I want to stream it or if I want to, like, play it myself. I'm not sure. It's been so long, so I feel like if I did stream it, it would have to be, like, I'd have to start all over. Truth be told, I'm gonna have to start all over anyways. So, that's not necessarily a reason to stop me from playing it. Night and day with that, huh? It's like adding makeup onto her. Ugh. If you don't want to stream, at least play it. Exactly, yeah. I do need to play it. I own the game. May as well, right? It's a matter of actually having time to do it. Especially adding on to the comic now. Don't know if I'll have as much free time. And that's not a bad thing. I'm actually glad to put in the time that I'm doing for Kaiju. Okay. Oops. Gabby's looking good. Let's blur this together. Get some shading on the hair as well. That's something we haven't done just yet. this. Blur this. Make it look nice. Yeah, there we go. Wow. Let's get a little bit more in there. A lot of this is very similar to the extra details that I was just trying to do. That might make it a little easier. Blur this now. Tell you what, I learned a lot from going to an art school. I went to an art school and it taught me just a few basic things. And I didn't think it was that useful, but my teacher was such a cool dude. He described the way he taught his skills and art things as like a workout. Ugh. She looks cool. Gotta go. Burgers are done. Go get your burgers. Yeah, she's looking pretty good. Starting to pop a whole lot more. Yeah, the art school taught me a few things, but the things that I did learn from my teacher, super cool guy, are things that I use to this very day. Like, while it's not mandatory that you need art school, it does help, I think. It's got multiple endings. Uh-oh. Did you beat the boss already? That's nerve-wracking. That has multiple endings. I am not good with multiple ending games. I usually just get with an ending and I'm just like, That's not the true ending, but I guess I'll have to deal with it. And I just like hold it over myself for the rest of my life. I'm like, I never did get the true ending. Oop, my model disappeared for a second there. Yeah, I had plans for this for what I wanted to do for today's stream. It's questionable though. At this rate, we're going on for 3.5 hours, and I'm just still finishing up Gabby. So I'm not sure if I'll get to my second picture that I wanted to do, but we might do that one on another day. That said, I still do want to get to what I had said I was going to do, and that was the rough drafts of the beginning of Daikaiju's manga. This should also have a little bit of shading to it. Dominantly this stuff up here. Do something a little wacky. Just kind of to pop it a bit. I want to see how this looks. It's gonna call it poppin'. We'll see how this goes. The ending I picked gives Eve a cool new look, so I picked right. Nice. Gotta do this lighter look to it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a paintbrush. I'm going to kind of make it a little large. I'm gonna do this. And the idea is take this. Blend it a bit. Give me my eraser. Get the soft end of it. Increase the size. It's meant to add a little more air to it a bit, I think. Not sure how it looks though. What it does is just make her skin a little lighter. If that's the case, then I don't think it's needed. Because truth be told, all we have to do is kind of maybe the same thing? I don't know. Let's do this again. Maybe with a different brush. So we have watercolor. Oh, flat brush. No. Soft bleed? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna give up on that idea. I'm just getting experimental now. Trying to see what I can do. But I think we are good with what we've got. Let's take this. Let's keep going. Alright, I think that's about it for her hair. Might add a little more, like up here maybe. Just kind of add a few of this and maybe a little here. And then we'll just kind of blur it. And then we'll blur this one too. Let's do that real quick. Then we'll change it to blend, kind of spread it out a bit. And this is very small. Got that. Yeah, she looks a whole lot better than my first version of Gabby, I'll tell you what. Did not come out very good at all. Let's see. Now we'll try to add some detail to this. Let's see, I think if we do it like this, then color this in. We'll just quicken that up for me. Yeah. Don't want to spend here all day at this rate. But I'm glad we got to spend this time on Gabby. It's a lot of fun drawing this picture. It's a picture that I really wanted to do this sort of thing with for a while. And now that I'm able to, it feels good. I'm glad it's coming out as good as I had hoped it would be. Blur. There we go, look at that. A little bit more. Probably add some here. Let's also, I guess, maybe add some here. I think that might look a little nice. Cool. Let me a little darker. Let's see if we can't do this. Blend that. There we go. There. We also gotta add this. I forgot about this skirt. Let's do this number. Do that. Just kind of blur some of this together. And what I need to do is also do line art and add some darker lines to this. There we go. And what I'm just gonna go a little wild here for the skirt. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm mostly just gonna kind of like scribble around these lines here, and I'll let the shading tool kind of do the rest for me. Like this. To kind of balance it out a little. And then what I'll do is take the blend tool and stretch out some of it, make it fit right in. And we'll do it again. Maybe a little nicer this time. That. Blur it. We'll clean up a little bit with an eraser. There we go. Add a little bit of detail to the bow and the shirt, and I honestly think that might be it for now. This will probably be one of those pictures that I keep coming back to every now and again, and we'll probably just add a few details here and there until I'm 100% certain that the picture is done. Click the wrong tool, but it's okay. Okay. So for the shading on this, let's go ahead and just make it a little darker. And it doesn't really need that much shading to begin with. Probably just do it like this. Kind of like this whole look to it. All right, and then we'll blur know if I want blur. Do I want blend? Yeah, I want blur. There we go. Make the bow look a little nicer. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of shading to the shirt, and that should be about it, honestly. We'll have finished Gabby to some extent. There we go. That. Now let's blend all this together, shall we? And see what we're left with. Oh. Here as well. Honestly, I think that might just do it for now. Ugh. Yeah, pretty cool. So, if I may, let's retrace our steps. I did this in person, on paper. We did the line art, looking nice. Then we had a few extra details in there. Added the color, and then shading. Looks good. That is Gabby. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think we'll still be adding a few details here and there to make sure it looks a little nicer over time. But I'm not disappointed with it. This is pretty good. A little better in some areas than I thought it would be. But it's the first Daikaiju picture that has officially been made and drawn by me. Now, I'll show you a little bit of something. I had drawn Gabby before. It wasn't good by any means. But I want to see, you know, my progress as an artist from about 4 years ago or so, maybe 5 years ago, to today. You know, let me see. Daikaiju. I had drawn Gabby, and this was what I had before. You know, at the time I wasn't too upset with it. I was actually really proud of myself in a lot of areas with this. But you can see, move Gabbero over there, you can see the change, right? The sheer difference from 2020 to 2025. It looks a whole lot better. The horns, you know, were kind of not too much in the hair, the hair design. You know, I kind of made that look a whole lot better. I kind of like her facial expression, but you know, this one, it rings more true to who Gabby is. The little neck muscle things there, the little scales, you know, a little more defined here. She wore long sleeves back then, so making them short sleeves, I actually had to draw these little polka dot things on her. Never realized she had them until I looked at her design. You know, I actually gave some extra color in certain areas. Overall, I like it. I may need to work on a few extra details here and there, but Gabby has evolved quite nicely, all things considered. Let me check something real quick. But honestly, I know I said I was planning on going for like 5 hours. I might just wrap it up here for now. I've done a lot of artwork today. I've drawn Gabby, obviously, but I drew more characters for the manga off screen. So, honestly, I don't know how much more I can beat myself with art today. The nice thing is we will both improve as the comic goes on. It's true. Yeah, I'm hoping my digital skills are what's really going to improve. It's like, I think my, you know, just drawing normals, you know, on paper, traditional style, goes pretty well. But when it comes to doing digital art, that's when I start to struggle. But I think she looks great. Might resize the canvas a little here. Let's just change the size of it. There we go. I'm proud of it. The color looks nice for the most part. Probably, I can definitely see where I need to improve, but I'm a little tuckered out. I think I've done a lot today. So, we're gonna probably wrap it up here for now. Let's go ahead and save this, right? I'm gonna save. I'm gonna put this in my digital sketchbook. Call it Gabby. Ugh. I like it. I think the eyes impressed me the most. I might I even want to do more with the eyes. Make him look a little nicer. But, yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. It's something that I wouldn't be ashamed of putting online, basically. Came out real nice. But yeah, I'll work on it over time. Maybe make it a little nicer. Maybe here and there during some art streams we'll pull Gabby back out and do some extra coloring, extra details, make her look as nice as possible. so that way we have an idea of what Daikaichu is going to look like as a manga, as a webcomic that we're going to be making here. I like it, and hopefully you guys will be excited for it too. We got some fun stuff ahead of us. But yeah, for now, we're going to wrap it up here. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It was a lot of fun. We'll do more Daikaiju artwork in coming weeks. I'll show you guys what we're doing, and we may even dedicate a stream to the rough drafts that I was wanting to get to today. But alright, until then guys, I will see you all again real soon, alright? You take care. Bye-bye.